Lily has always played it safe. Her life is a carefully curated checklist of achievements and sensible decisions, a path she believed would lead to fulfillment. Yet, standing at the precipice of a major life decision, she feels a hollow sense of dread rather than excitement. On a whim, fueled by a deep-seated yearning for something she cannot name, she books a one-way ticket to Italy. She tells herself it's a temporary escape, a brief interlude before returning to the responsible path. What she doesn't anticipate is that Italy, in its chaotic, vibrant glory, has a way of dismantling the best-laid plans. Her arrival is a comedy of errors, lost luggage, a miscommunication that lands her in a tiny village instead of a bustling city, and a complete inability to order a simple coffee. The pristine, Instagram-ready fantasy of Italy she had constructed shatters immediately. In its place is something far more real: confusing bus schedules, weathered stone buildings, and the overwhelming, melodic chaos of a language she doesn't understand. Her first instinct is to retreat, to find the nearest airport, and fly back to the comfort of her known world. But a chance encounter with an elderly widow, who offers her a room in a crumbling but beautiful villa, plants the seed of a different possibility. Staying in the village of Montepaschiuto, Lily is forced to slow down. There is no Wi-Fi in her room, and the pace of life is dictated by the sun and the ringing of the church bells. She begins to observe the rhythms of the piazza, the old men arguing over cards, the shopkeepers taking their long afternoon *riposo*, the families strolling in the evening cool. Initially, she feels like an awkward spectator. But slowly, through small, hesitant gestures, attempting a few words of Italian, helping her landlady carry groceries, accepting an invitation for an aperitivo*, she becomes a participant. She learns that the best gelato isn't found in the tourist spots, but in the unassuming gelateria*, where the owner remembers your favorite flavor. She discovers that a wrong turn down a cobblestone alley can lead to a hidden courtyard filled with the scent of jasmine. The heart of her journey, however, becomes the people she meets. There is Marco, the passionate, but perpetually stressed chef who teaches her that food is about connection, not perfection. There is Sophia, a young artist who sees the world in colors and shapes that Lily never noticed, and who challenges her to look beyond the surface. And there is Luca, a local historian with a quiet smile, who shows her the layers of history in the ancient stones around them, teaching her that beauty often comes from enduring imperfections. Through their stories and their generosity, Lily's tightly wound self begins to unfurl. She makes mistakes, big and small. She gets hopelessly lost, orders the wrong thing at restaurants, and has conversations that are equal parts gesture and guesswork. Each misstep, instead of being a catastrophe, becomes a lesson in humility and a source of unexpected laughter. Her adventure is not a single, dramatic transformation, but a series of subtle shifts. The woman who arrived with a rigid itinerary learns to ask, "What if?" instead of "What's next?" She spends an entire afternoon doing nothing but watching clouds drift over the hills. She learns to savor a single cup of espresso, not as a caffeine delivery system, but as a moment of pure presence. The constant internal monologue of self-judgment and planning begins to quiet, replaced by a new appreciation for sensory details, the feel of sun-warmed stone, the taste of freshly picked olives, the sound of laughter echoing in a narrow street at night. Of course, the real world and its responsibilities haven't vanished. Phone calls from home remind her of the life waiting for her return, and moments of doubt and loneliness still creep in. She grapples with the guilt of her escape and the fear of what her future holds. Is this journey just a delightful detour, or is it pointing her toward a fundamentally different way of living? The answer doesn't come in a lightning bolt of clarity, but gradually, like the dawn light spreading over the Tuscan landscape. She realizes that the courage she found to board the plane is the same courage she can apply to redesigning her life back home. The trip wasn't about running away from herself, but about rediscovering who she was before she started following a script written by others. By the time her stay draws to a close, Lily is not the same person who landed in Italy. She is messier, more open, and infinitely more curious. She has learned that joy can be found in the smallest of moments, a shared meal, a stunning view, a perfect scoop of fire di latte gelato on a hot day. She understands now that getting lost is sometimes the only way to find your true direction. The book closes not with a definitive ending, but with a beginning. Lily returns home, not to simply resume her old life, but to build a new one, infused with the spirit of Montepaschiuto. She carries with her the conviction that adventure isn't a geographical location, it's a mindset of openness, a willingness to embrace the unknown, and the understanding that you always deserve good gelato.